satisfied, my master, for we are home. After we have been long on board and rowed much, the prow has at last touched land, and our people rejoice and embrace us one after another. Moreover, we have come back in good health, and not a man is lacking. Though we have been to the ends of Wawat and gone through the land of Senmut, we have returned at peace, and our land, we have come back to it. Hear me, my master, I have no other refuge. Wash thee, turn the water over thy fingers, then go. Tell the tale to Pharaoh. His master replied, Thy heart continues still its wandering words, but although the mouth of a man may save him, his words may also cover his face with confusion. Will you do then as your heart moves you? This that you would say it quietly. The sailor answered, I shall tell that which has happened to me, to my very self. I was going to the mines of Pharaoh on the sea in a ship of 150 cubits long and 40 cubits wide, with 150 sailors of the best of Egypt, who had seen heaven and earth, and whose hearts were stronger than lions. They had said that the wind would not be contrary, or that there would be none. But as we approached the land, the wind arose and threw up waves 8 cubits high. As for me, I seized a piece of wood. But those who were in the vessel perished, without one remaining. A wave threw me on an island. After that I had been 3 days alone, without a companion. I laid me in a thicket, and the shadow covered me. Then I stretched my limbs while searching for food. I found there figs and grain, melons, fishes, and birds. The isle lacked nothing. And I satisfied myself, and left that which was over of what my arms had been filled withal. I dug a pit, I lighted a fire, and I made a burnt offering unto the gods. Suddenly I heard a noise as of thunder, which I thought to be that of a wave of the sea. The trees shook and the earth moved. When I dared look, behold, and I saw that a serpent drew near. He was 30 cubits long, his beard greater than 2 cubits. His body was covered with gold, and his color as that of true lazuli. He coiled himself before me. Then he opened his mouth, while I lay on my face before him, and he said unto me, What has brought you here? What brought you here, child? What has brought you? Answer me quickly, what has brought you to this isle, or I will make you know yourself. As a flame you shall vanish, if you tell me not something I have not heard, or which I knew not before you. The serpent took me in his mouth, and carried me to his abode, and laid me down without injury. I was whole and sound, nothing was gone from me. Then he spoke against me while I lay on my face before him. He said, What has brought you? What has brought you here, little one? What has brought you to this isle in the sea, of which the shores are in the midst of the waves? I replied to him, holding my arms low before him. I said, I was embarked for the mines by the order of the Majesty. We were in a ship, 150 cubits was its length, and the width of it 40 cubits. It had 150 sailors of the best of Egypt, who had seen heaven and earth, and the hearts of whom were stronger than lions. They said that the wind would not be contrary, or that there would be none. Each of them exceeded his companion in the prudence of his heart and the strength of his arms, and I was not beneath any of them. A storm came upon us while we were on the sea. Hardly could we reach the shore, when the wind waxed greater even still, and the waves rose 8 cubits. As for me, I seized a piece of wood, while those who were in the boat perished, without one being left with me for 3 days. Behold, I am here before you now. I was brought to this isle by a wave of the sea. The serpent said to me, Fear not, little one, and make not your face sad. If you have come to me, God has let you live, for it is he who has brought you to this isle. This isle is blessed, where nothing is lacking, and which is filled with all good things. You shall pass 1 month after another until you shall be 4 months in this isle. Then a ship shall come from your land with sailors, and you shall leave with them and go to your country, and you shall die in your town. Conversation is pleasing, and he who tastes it passes over his misery. I will therefore tell you of that which is in this isle. I am here with my brethren and my children around me. We are 75 serpents, children and kindred, without naming a young girl who was brought unto me by chance, and on whom the fire of heaven fell and burned her to ashes. As for you, if you are strong, and if your heart waits patiently, you shall press your infants to your bosom and embrace your wife. You shall return to your house, which is full of all good things. You shall see your land, where you shall dwell in the midst of your kindred. Then I bowed in my obeisance, and I touched the ground before him. Behold now that which I have told you. I shall tell of your presence unto Pharaoh. I shall make him to know of your greatness, and I will bring you sacred oils and perfumes and incense of the temples, with which all gods are honored. I shall tell moreover of that which I do now see, thanks to him. And there shall be rendered to you praises before the fullness of all the land. I shall make unto you burnt offerings, a sacrifice. I shall pluck for you the birds, and I shall bring you ships full of all the treasures of Egypt, as is calmly to do unto a god, a friend of men in a far country, of which men know not. He smiled at my speech because of that which was in his heart, for he said to me, You are not rich in perfume, for all that you have is but common incense. As for me, I am a prince of the land of Punt, and I have perfumes. Only the oil which you say you would bring is not common in this isle. But when you shall depart from this place, you shall never see more this isle. It shall vanish beneath the waves. And behold, when the ship drew near, according to all the serpent had told me, I got into a high tree to strive to see those who were within. Then I came and told him this matter, but it was already known unto him. He said to me, Farewell, farewell, go to your house, little one, embrace your children, and let your name be good in your town. Those are my wishes for you. Then I bowed myself low before him, and he gave me gifts of precious perfumes, of acacia, of sweet woods, of kohl, of cypress, an abundance of incense, of ivory tusks, baboons and apes, and all kinds of precious things. I embarked all in the ship which was come, and bowing myself I prayed God for him. Then he said to me, Behold, you shall come to your country in 2 months. You shall press to your bosom your children, and you shall rest in your tomb. After this I went down to the shore unto the ship, and I called to the sailors who were there. Then on the shore I rendered adoration to the master of this isle, and to those who dwelt therein. When we shall come in our return to the house of Pharaoh in the 2nd month, according to all that the serpent has said, and I shall go in before Pharaoh, I shall bring the gifts which I have brought from this isle into the country. Then he shall thank me. Grant then unto me a follower, and lead me to the courtiers of the king. Cast your eyes upon me. After that I have both seen and proved this. Hear my prayer, for it is good to listen to people. It was said unto me, Become a wise man, and you shall come to honor. And behold, I have become such.